Hey guys, welcome to the Max Invest YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Chainlink CCIP and a few different things to do with Ethereum. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, and remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. So let's get into the video. Now, the first thing that I wanted to discuss is Chainlink CCIP. Essentially, Chainlink CCIP stands for Cross-Chain Interoperability Protocol, and it can do a lot of different things. Essentially, what Chainlink CCIP does is it allows very secure bridges to occur. Chainlink CCIP advertises itself as the most secure bridges. Now, secure bridging can do a lot of different things. Essentially, the first big thing that secure bridging can do is it allows a centralized entity to use a smart contract and interact with multiple different protocols. So one big example of this is Celsius. What Celsius do is they yield farm for their customers and they earn interest for their customers. However, the way that they yield farm for their customers is by using CCIP. CCIP goes off and it finds the best yield from all of these different protocols and brings it back to their customers. So it might find some yield from Avalanche, it might find some yield from Phantom, and it might find some yield from Ethereum, and then bring it back to their customers in one nice smart contract. However, the power of securing bridging is absolutely endless. In fact, secure bridges can mean we can do a lot of different things. One big thing is it would allow NFTs to go across different protocols, so you could purchase an item in a game, use it in a game on Ethereum, use it in a game on Solana, and you could do a whole bunch of different things that allows us to have a very interoperable future. Essentially, in the example that I just mentioned, what you'd be doing is you'd be bridging the NFT to another chain. Now, the NFT would never leave the initial chain. Instead, what you'd be doing is you'd be using a derivative of that NFT on another chain. So the way that CCIP works for a lot of different things is it works by using derivatives. You use a derivative of something else on another chain. Of course, this actually isn't that complicated because users won't realize they're using derivatives and they won't even know it. It's completely secure if the bridge remains completely secure, and Chainlink CCIP wants to do this. Now, there's some recent news about the Ethereum name services. Essentially, the Ethereum name services originally thought that you could only have an ENS name on the Ethereum network. Now, this was quite bad and a little bit detrimental. This is because there's a bit of a problem with Ethereum. Essentially, Ethereum's layer 1 will always have very high gas fees, and this will make it very difficult to buy an Ethereum name service name. However, ENS have said that they can use Chainlink CCIP to put the Ethereum names on a layer 2. This means somebody can buy an ENS name off the top of Arbitrum, which is absolutely massive. As we can see, ENS originally thought that they only had a single source of truth. They could only use the Ethereum layer 1. However, CCIP Read is developed and it allows a derivative of an ENS name to be put anywhere. This means that you can essentially use your ENS name on other protocols such as Solana or Cardano, and you can use it on Ethereum layer 2s, which is very big. So Chainlink CCIP essentially resulted in a huge development for the Ethereum name services, and this is one of Chainlink's biggest gifts. Essentially, in my opinion, I do believe that CCIP is going to be fundamental in connecting rollups to each other. Chainlink CCIP allows for a very interoperable future. Individuals and the end customers won't need to know about which chain they're using, how they're using Ethereum, if they're using Solana, but rather they'll be able to interact with very simple interfaces that are brought together by Chainlink CCIP. Of course, the Ethereum network is choosing to scale via rollups, and these rollups will need to be interoperable and they will need to be connected, and the only way I can see this coming into fruition is through Chainlink CCIP. So in my opinion, this is probably one of Chainlink's biggest aspects. It allows a lot of different stuff to happen. All it does is it allows very secure bridges between protocols, and then with this, Chainlink can actually do a whole bunch of stuff. You can use smart contracts for multiple protocols, and you can post derivatives everywhere, which will allow for an interoperable future. And in my opinion, Chainlink CCIP is definitely one of their biggest things that they have going on. Now, the next thing that I wanted to discuss is I wanted to talk about some Ethereum news. Essentially, on Twitter, I did a little bit of a Twitter thread, and in this Twitter thread, I said Ethereum has no competition right now. Of course, this may sound like an Ethereum maxi thing to say, especially because a lot of people believe in a multi-chain future. However, if you actually go in and read my thread and read what I'm saying, it is very, very different. Essentially, what I'm saying is right now, blockchains are very inefficient. This is because all blockchains right now do computation and settlement. For Solana, all of the nodes compute the transactions and then they execute those transactions. This is the same for the Ethereum layer 1. However, in my opinion, this is a very outmoded and it's a very old design of how a blockchain should work. Essentially, Ethereum has said that they're going to go down the path of being a settlement layer. This means the Ethereum layer 1 will no longer be computing transactions. Rather, all Ethereum is going to be doing is settling transactions. All of the transactions are going to be computed via layer 2s. Now, in my opinion, all of these other blockchains like Solana and Avalanche will also need to choose. Do they want to choose to be a settlement layer or a computational layer? Now, in my opinion, the answer seems very, very obvious. Avalanche is very, very good at computation, and Avalanche has some very good interfaces. Avalanche isn't so good at settlement because it's not as secure and it's not as decentralized as Ethereum. So, in my mind, what this means is Avalanche will probably be a computation layer on Ethereum. What Avalanche will do is it will scrap its consensus and keep everything else. Everything else could stay the same. You could still use AVAX to pay for gas and do everything as you normally did. However, Avalanche will just settle on Ethereum. Solana will probably do the same thing where they just settle on Ethereum. And in my mind, Solana, Avalanche, Ethereum, they are not competitors right now. Ethereum is striving to be a global settlement layer, and these other blockchains will probably be computational layers on top of Ethereum. Anyway, if you have any disagreements with me about this topic, I would be interested to hear them. You can chuck them below in the YouTube comments or join the Discord channel to talk about them. Now, the next bit of news I want to talk about is some layer 2 news. The first thing to discuss is Polygon are making a generalized zero-knowledge rollup. This is going to be called Polygon Maiden. Now, it really does show that Polygon is very, very Ethereum focused. They're already making their layer 2 solutions and their ZK rollups, and it is good to see this coming out. I would expect this to be out in roughly a year, however, we will need to see what happens. Now, another bit of layer 2 news is Binance are supporting layer 2s. Essentially, Binance have said that individuals are going to be able to withdraw directly to Arbitrum 1. Of course, this is one of the things holding back Arbitrum right now. If somebody wants to interact with Arbitrum, well, they're going to need to put their funds on the layer 1 and then move their funds from the layer 1 to the layer 2. Of course, this means that individuals will be able to go straight from the centralized exchange to the layer 2 if Binance do this integration, which is very, very good to see. Now, the last thing that I briefly wanted to discuss is the Constitution DAO. Essentially, a DAO formed, and what they were trying to do is buy the Constitution. The initial copy of the Constitution was put on auction, and a DAO on the Ethereum network wanted to buy the Constitution and actually turn it into an NFT. However, the DAO essentially bidded $41 million for the Constitution, and this bid did not go through. Somebody else outbidded them, which is interesting to see. I thought the Ethereum community would be able to get it, however they didn't quite do it. Anyway, that is all the news that I wanted to talk about in this video. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching the video.